What is up? This is Only Talk 123 here. I'm going to be talking about Manny Ramirez today. Now, I just watched an interview this past week, and Manny Ramirez, he was being interviewed, and it was pretty much just about this whole past few years, what has happened, getting tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, having to serve out the suspension, how he quickly retired, and then also the battery charge that happened this past year. If you don't know about that, he hit his wife and had a battery charge there. So a lot has happened to Manny, and I feel bad for the guy. He's been through a lot. He's also made a lot of bad mistakes in his life. But really, he just keeps wanting to end his baseball career better. You know what I mean? I mean, he started off really good, and at one point he was a definite, for sure, Hall of Fame first ballot. But then all this stuff happened in Boston, and then you get the tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, and it's going to be really difficult for a guy like Manny Ramirez to get into the Hall of Fame after all that happens. But for him, he already said in the interview, he said, I already have my Hall of Fame, it's my family, and you can obviously tell he's getting along better with his family right now, and it means everything to him. But you can also see the side of Manny that wants to be a baseball player and wants to finish his career better than how he ended it, briefly last year with retiring just because, he got suspended for 100 games. So if he did get signed by a team, I believe he would still have to finish out the suspension. So that means that if he makes a major league team at some point, then he would have to go in mid-season. Now, what could that do for the teams that are interested in him? You look at the teams that are interested in him, it's Baltimore Orioles, it's the Oakland A's, and it's the Toronto Blue Jays. And I can see him going to Baltimore or Oakland. I don't really see him going to Toronto right now. That could obviously change. But I think Baltimore and Oakland are the teams that need him most at this point. Baltimore obviously looking for a DH for a while. They could use Prince Fielder. Obviously it could be first base or DH. But they do need that DH. They did lose Luke Scott, so that's another DH option lost there. So getting a guy like Manny Ramirez would obviously help him. Also have that veteran impact there. And you wouldn't have to use a guy like Matt Wieters at DH really ever if you have a guy like Manny Ramirez. So they need a DH, number one. I could see him going to Baltimore. The Oakland A's, though, a little more interesting. They are very serious in Manny Ramirez. And it seems like they are somewhat close to maybe a contract at this point, but he still wants to work out for the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, he's been swinging. I saw in the interview he's been swinging every day. He's all about repetition, mentally and physically. He's been doing some swimming, so loosening up. So, I mean, he could be a good batter, and he could be a valuable batter for the Oakland A's, which the Oakland A's really need him because at the DH spot, they have an array of guys they could use. They got a lot of first basemen in trades the last year, really. And then the prospect, of course, Chris Carter's been there for a while. He's, not late 20s, but he's getting up there to a point where he needs to start playing every day. And he's gone through the big leagues, or not the big leagues, he's gone through the minor leagues. He has that power stroke, and he could be a full-time DH. He's, messed around in the outfield and first base. The defenses are there. I say just let him go to the DH role. But if he does really struggle, it would be very nice to have a guy like Manny Ramirez on this team to help him out because Manny, he knows a lot about the game. Yes, he's had a lot of troubles on and off the field, but if he gets focused and he knows what's at stake and he wants to end his career good, he wants to leave a good impact on the young guys in Oakland, he could be very valuable, teaching them a lot, teaching them physically and mentally the hitting game because he is a genius when it comes to hitting. I mean, he was a fantastic hitter, a first ballot Hall of Fame guy for a long time. So Oakland, they can learn a lot from this guy, and he can be important and ground himself in the DH role late in the season in 2012. So as we stand right now, Manny Ramirez probably will be in a big league uniform sometime in 2012, whether it's the Oakland A's, whether it's the Baltimore Orioles, whether it's the Toronto Blue Jays, or whether it's a team that we have not seen gain interest yet. There's a lot of teams looking for a DH option out there. Manny could be that at some point during the season. We just don't know when. We just don't know what team, and we will find that. But really, this is an interesting topic. Manny Ramirez back in MLB in 2012. Again, thank you for watching. If you have any thoughts on this video or the topic, just comment, rate, subscribe, whatever you want to do to express your thoughts on the topic on Manny Ramirez or anything baseball. If you want me to do a video on anything related to baseball, I am happy to do it. Again, also on Twitter, MLB Talk 123, and interviews with Eric Young Jr. and other minor leaguers coming up in the spring. Thanks for watching again. This is MLB Talk 123.